Odawa, Owaga, Victor, also you are there. And in the studio today, I have a gentleman, a man who has been doing great things in matters of connecting people, regional peace, and many other beautiful things. He's a great man, and today we're going to discuss what we've never discussed before, especially with the Gen Z uprising in Tanzania and what happened in Kenya. And this man promotes peace. He's my brother. He's none other. But let me not introduce him. He'll introduce himself. Karibu sana, ndugu. You can introduce yourself. Tell the public who you are so that they know you are a big man in the studio today.
No, I'm not a big man, but my name is Daniel Juma Omondi.
Yes.
In the streets, they call me DJ.
Yes.
But you know the DJ? Like
DJ Cham.
DJ, it's DJ because it's Daniel Juma.
Yes.
Short for Daniel Juma. So
yeah.
I am happy to be here in studio with my long-lost brother, Charles.
Yes.
And I work at the Global Peace Foundation.
Yes.
I am the Africa regional representative of the Global Peace Foundation.
Yeah.
And we are basically a peace-building company, organization. We are based in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
And so I represent Africa. In Africa, we have more than 4 countries. We operate in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Nigeria. And of course, we have representatives from, we have ambassadors in various African countries. So I'm happy to basically work, as a peace builder. But before that, I used to work at the Korea Trade Center.
Trade Center, yes.
I was in charge of economic diplomacy. So right now, it brings me back to peace diplomacy.
Yes.
It's all related because economy is freedom.
Freedom.
Charles, money, being able to earn a living, basically gives you freedom.
Yeah.
And as you know, Africans were colonized. So, so we did not have freedom at that time, when we had colonization. But even after independence, Africans have continued to lag behind in other areas. We have had neo-colonization, where we have had, of course, some parts of Africa still depending on the former colonizers to be able to survive. And that's why you see, if you go to South Africa, people like Malema, they're talking about economic freedom. EFF. So it's because if you don't have money in your pocket, you can't be in charge of your economy, then you are still colonized. You don't have the freedom. You're still enslaved to the big corporates. You're enslaved to people who have the money. That means that they can do anything that they want to do. And if you don't have money, you can't. Wanasemanga kwa Kiswahili, mkono mtupu haulambwi. We are basically living in a commercial world,
yes,
where even to have a girlfriend, even to have a wife, you don't have money, you can't even get laid, and all that. Yes. It's difficult. It's difficult. And so one of the things that we do in Global Peace Foundation, of course, is youth empowerment. How do we get our young people to be empowered? But this empowerment starts from the mind, the mindset. You must have that mindset, to know that, especially for young people, you have the future in your hands. So the idea of you waiting for someone to come from outside Africa or outside this country to give you the freedom, to help you get a job, it will not really work, because Africa is a continent that has so many problems. We are still lagging behind economically, but these problems are opportunities. You get my point? So we as Africans must see what problems are here, and there are so many. How can we utilize these problems to cash in on those problems? So the problem we have basically are not in itself, I don't want to call them a misfortune, but they are actually a means upon which we can be able, especially if we are innovative enough, we can look at our problems and get inspired to actually do something about it. Somebody said that if you are not hungry, then you don't go to look for food, right?
Yeah.
So hunger sometimes is necessary because then it gets you out of your comfort zone
to get something,
to go out and do something
and work.
Actually,
90% of Kenyans and Africa in the world, people work because they need to eat.
Because they need to eat.
Yes.
Because they have necessity. They have to make it or make it.
Yeah.
You understand? So necessity and problems and challenges in itself are not bad, because then they push us to get out of that comfort zone and do something about it. And that's why we do a lot of youth empowerment programs at the Global Peace Foundation. We have a program called the President's Fellowship, where we say that African leaders have a responsibility to nurture the leaders who are coming after them, to nurture the next generation of African leaders. Look at Barack Obama. He was an American president.
But he was nurtured.
Yeah, but then he came up with something called Young Africa Leadership Initiative, YALI. So we have an American president coming here to nurture African leaders. What is wrong with Africa? Why can't Suluhu nurture someone to take over from her?
No,
why can't Museveni nurture someone why can't he nurture Bobby Wine to take over from him? Why is it that African leaders are very, very, how do you call it? They're afraid of young people coming up. Why can't they say, look, you are a young person, you have ambition, come and let me
learn,
mentor you
and learn.
Your point. So if Museveni can say, Bobby Wine, Kuja, come sit down.
Yes.
I want to appoint you maybe a cabinet position.
Yeah.
And then I want to nurture you because you see you have very potential.
Yeah.
And then you sit with me, learn with me. After 10 years, when I'm done with my so many terms,
6 terms,
you can take over. But why? These guys are not doing that. They're just beating young people.
Now, you've brought a very interesting perspective.
Yes.
And maybe when you're talking about, I was thinking, Dalai Lama said that peace is not the absence of conflict.
Yes.
There are conflicts, disagreements,
yes.
but there's a way how we resolve these disagreements. The youth have come, and the youth are rising in Africa, saying,
absolutely.
This thing in Tanzania doesn't work for us. Kenyans said it is not working. Ugandans are saying it's not working. How do we solve these conflicts among the youth? And now Samia Suluhu Hassan running against Samia Suluhu Hassan. Yeah.
We have to, because right now, and especially you see when this Gen Z phenomenon started in Kenya last year, I was here in Nairobi when we had a big conference, at Radisson Blue, where we were supposed to host, we were hosting so many people, delegates from Africa. The president was supposed to come and open that. And then, that is the time. At the same time, the Gen Z issue erupted. Now, one thing you must know about the Gen Zs, and after that you have seen it happening, of course, it happened in Bangladesh, it happened in Nepal,
yes.
And the other day in Madagascar, and even in Cameroon, in Morocco. Morocco also, I see young people are getting restless, and in Tanzania, because young people do not pretend. They are not politically correct.
Yes.
If they don't have money, they don't have it. If they don't have jobs, they don't have it.
Yes.
You understand? They don't have it. So they can't pretend that they have it. If they're suffering, they're suffering. So the government has to ensure that they're coming up with strategies to help these young people. Number one, believe in themselves. Believe in themselves. Help these young people own the vision of the Kenyan dream. If it's a Kenyan dream, then it is not the leadership to push, the leadership should convince the Kenyan people to own in the Kenyan dream. So how can we collectively work and be able to build the Kenyan nation, the Kenyan dream together? But if you are excluding them, if they feel excluded, and the leadership itself, you say it's like us versus them, then they will not feel part of the solution, and this is a problem that's happening where I don't want to say old people, but the people who are in power are not. They feel insecure.
Yeah.
Just allowing young people
to express
themselves. But even look at, for example, we talk about Gen Z. If you look at independence, if you look at Mwai Kibaki, those guys, they started leading in their 20s. In their 20s. How come that today, young people, we don't have in leadership, we don't have people in leadership who can who are actually below, 35.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy because even Ofafa started leading in 20s.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you look at all these guys, Martin Luther King, even Barack Obama when he was president, he was in his 40s. He was in his 40s, but he started his politics at a much younger age. How come here it is so difficult, for example, to have a cabinet secretary who is, for example, in his 20s?
That one, President Ruto gave a cabinet position. I don't hear him anymore.
The other day, there's a young man, just the other day, CS for water.
Yeah.
But nobody hears about him. I don't know basically what
he does.
It's difficult to know. You get my point. But so this is the problem. So I think our African leaders must begin working with the youth. And they must begin, actually doing something to help the youth on the vision of where this nation is to go. I can tell you, yesterday I was with a friend of mine, Charlene Ruto. She's the daughter of the president. This is a lady who is actually doing something. She's trying on her own. Encouraging young people to actually start loving agriculture. You understand?
Yeah.
She's the daughter of the president, but she doesn't behave like the daughter of the president. She works with these young guys. She's there with them, nurturing them. And, I was honored to be one of the guests yesterday during the Smart Foundation when she launched a center where young people can learn about agriculture. But that's what I'm saying. At least you see someone like her, she knows the problem.
And she's facing it.
She's facing it.
Yeah.
And at least she has taken one route and she's moving with it. Just getting young people to farm again. Because in this country, the mean age of a farmer is actually 60.
Yeah, because they don't farm.
People don't farm.
Yeah.
And then the mean age of the continent of Africa is 19. The average, is 19. That's the median age. And more than 75% of the population is actually, is below the age of 35. So when you're talking about farming, and the statistics agree,
Yeah.
The president spoke about us importing, a lot. We actually, the data is out there and it's crazy that Kenya is importing a lot of food, from outside, for example, eggs. I think we have a capacity. There's a need for, I think, almost 9 billion eggs, and either 9 billion or 9 million. But we are only able to make,
produce
less than 50% of that. A majority is being imported. Why are we importing these things? Why are we importing food? Why are we importing rice?
Why importing toothpick?
Why, we just need to come up with policies where we can be able to actually make use of the land that we have. Kenya has a lot of land that is not being utilized, not being put to good use. So I think if we can come up with policies that actually encourage these young guys to get busy, come up with policies that encourage youths to love agriculture, ensure that if they're doing agriculture, ensure they have market, the markets, ensure that they can be able to take their produces to the supermarket and they are sold and they can have money in their pockets. This nation has a lot of opportunities, rather than us talking about just taking people outside the country. I think if we come up with deliberate, plans to actually involve the youth in agriculture, involve the youth in also creating innovation. Look at M-Pessah. M-Pessah was a youth innovation. Right? What are we doing to keep nurturing new innovation? I always say that just like Facebook. 20 years ago, we didn't have Facebook. And today, Facebook is one of the biggest employers and the biggest media organization in the world. So today, if we help nurture innovation amongst the youth, then the next big thing that will create hundreds and thousands of jobs in Kenya and Africa is going to be nurtured by these young people who are in our classroom today.
Yeah.
So we keep saying that one of the things that I say that one of my most important work at the Global Peace Foundation is transforming education.
Yeah.
The education system that we have
Kenya
today is a 300-year-old system that was given to us by the colonialists. Actually, this system was meant to just manufacture workers for factories, to work in colonial factories.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
And so it has taken us long to be able to actually review this, transform this education system. You understand? You know, so if you look at today, you know, young people are actually faster than the teachers in class. Young people, if you give them this phone, like my 16-year-old son,
he will do wonders.
He's doing wonders. He can go into II, he can do what, but his teachers still are looking at they're looking at the traditional modes of learning. But now people are learning
machine learning.
Yeah, AI is able to provide everything that you need. So, but people are saying that AI is bad or AI is not good for education. But you know what? I tell the people, you know what? AI is here to stay. Just like the other day, they said email is not going anywhere. Today, everyone is having email.
Yeah.
AI is here to stay. What AI does, AI gets rid of the mundane. Those mundane tasks, the repetitive tasks that you do, AI wants to do them for you, so that you, Charles, can focus on the most important thing,
the critical
areas,
yes.
Relationships, you know, innovation, coming up with ideas, you know. We as people, we need to come up with. Spend more time doing the most important things, not spend time doing what AI can do. Your point. So there are things that AI can do right now, even coming up, for example, with the lesson plan.
Yeah.
A teacher doesn't have to waste time, you know, writing lesson plan, you know, with this, whatever, you know.
Every day.
AI can do that for you so that the teacher can spend more time with these students in class, nurturing character, asking how are they, how is everything, how the issues of mental health. So teachers can focus on those. So teachers can also, you know, be the coaches, instruct the students, for example, where to go and get something to read, what to do, and all this. So AI is here to stay. So we are saying that as we approach 2050, the people in our classroom today, those students, the 13-year-old, the 14-year-old, what we are calling the Gen Zs, they will be the presidents, they will be the MPs, MCAs, senators of this country. They'll be running the show.
Yeah.
So what are we doing with these people? So it is up to the educators, the schools, the teachers, the parents. Let us work with them and nurture them, mentor them well, so that at least in the year 2050 and before then, we'll have a better world. We'll have a more what I call a better civilization.
A proper civilization.
Yes, but if we don't do it, yes. You can see, you know, the way they are throwing stones. You saw in Tanzania. If we don't do something today to do a better job at bringing these young people, if we don't do it today, then I can tell you what you are seeing in Tanzania and what you see in Kenya, these are whatever. You know, you cannot compare them because these young people are sharp. They ask questions. For example, my young 14-year-old always. When I tell her to do something, she wants to reason with me. She asks me, "But Daddy, why? Why do I need to do that?"
They always ask.
Yeah, why? They want to know. They want to reason with you.
You see, and you've put it very well that the education system we had earlier was to manufacture factory workers, which is true, and we need to re-examine our education, which I think we're doing.
Yes.
But also remember, the youth of today are people who really understand themselves. They're in the information age. They can access anything they want at their phones, at their fingertips. But they also are more informed than any other generation before.
Absolutely.
So if you see the way what's happening in Tanzania, what happened in Kenya is that the youth are ready to be taken care of with candid and conversation and opportunities which are real, not fake things.
Yeah.
You see, as we would be told, tutakuletea mkate and it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so there's something I always tell, like saying, that our ancestors, they fought for, you know, like our grand ancestors.
Yes.
Some of them fought to free themselves from slavery. You know, those guys were being hunted down to be sold as slaves. You know, our great, you know, so they were running away from slavery.
Slavery, yes.
People wanted to sell them to Oman or to Europe, to US.
Yes.
So they were fighting for that. And then when colonization came, we had our great-grandparents fought for independence, right?
Yeah.
And then after independence, we had people fighting for, you know, liberation. That's what they call the second liberation. You get my point?
The second liberation. First independence and second liberation.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that our ancestors already did this. We don't need to subject our young people again to be fighting for independence, for freedom. You understand? Right now, let's have jobs. Let's get young people in jobs.
Economic freedom,
so that our young people don't need to be going on the street running. Again, it's looking for freedom. You get my point? Yes. So it is a shame when I see what is going on in Tanzania, for example.
Yes.
Just a simple election. What is wrong with just conducting a free and fair election?
But it's not possible to do a free and fair election because of very simple things. The Tanzanian constitution is not reformed.
Yeah, but even if it's not reformed, Charles. Huh?
Yes.
I mean, it is simple. I mean, why would you, a responsible leader?
Yes.
Because people are not stupid, by the way.
Yes.
And why would you see it?
Ban everyone.
To ban everyone, you put your opponents in jail. What happened with just saying, okay, Kujeni water, let's do it, and then at least do your thing, maybe at the whatever. Why put them in jail? Why can't you have the semblance of a free and fair campaign? Yeah. And then maybe if you want to steal votes, you steal at the end. So what is happening in Tanzania is wrong. And this is what has been happening in other jurisdictions. Even in Kenya, in 2007, elections were basically
stolen.
Yeah. Raila Odinga won those elections, and it was stolen. It was stolen.
100% stolen.
And we saw it was stolen when we were seeing that. I could see. I was in 2007. I was a member of something called the ODM Professional Network.
Yes.
And I could see when Raila was winning, and then all of a sudden,
Nithi bridge.
Yes.
Nithi vote scheme.
You get a point.
Yeah.
And Martha Karua, they were in charge of the ECK then, But nowadays, you see, yesterday I was even watching Martha Karua.
Yes,
when she was talking about Tanzania. But I said, this is what they have been doing. This is what they did. So Suluhu is just copying what some crooked whatever did before. You get my point? So this habit of stealing elections should be, the election is a mathematical thing. You count the votes. Yani watu wapiga kura, wewe hesabu. Yule amepata 10 ni huyo ndiye mshindi. Yule amepata 8 ni number 2. Get my point? So what is wrong with Africa? We can't even do a simple mathematical exercise. And this is why the Gen Zs have a problem. Because it's a simple thing.
Yeah, they can call the bluff.
Yes. They say, fine, bring the votes. They vote. Any Gen Zs are not even like. Gen Zs are saying, this is a straightforward thing. Leta hizo kura zipigwe.
Yes.
Alafu tuhesabu, tuone, CEO amekuwa namba 1, DJ namba 2, na huyo ndio president.
Yeah, it's simple task.
It's a simple thing.
It's a very simple exercise.
Why are we wasting our energy trying to manipulate? And the moment you manipulate, these guys are not stupid. They know. If you are manipulating, they will know that you are doing that. And again, if you are not, because the Constitution says that the elections must be simple.
Yes,
and
simple majority.
Verifiable. It must be verifiable. You get my point?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, why can't you just make a transparent system? So if Suluhu wins, let her win. And what is wrong? Because even Tindi Lissu and the other, they're also Tanzanians. Kwani wao si wako na damu ambayo si wamezaliwa pia Tanzania, wakishinda si wao pia ni binadamu.
I get you.
Yes.
Dan, I want us to go for a quick break. Yes. When we come back, we'll take the second part of the conversation.
Yes.
There are some people, Jackie Sonika DJ is saying, DJ Daniel Juma introduction is just hilarious. Even having a girlfriend is a problem. You guys are following the conversation. Jackie, you are crazy, man. You're saying that DJ has said that in his introduction, even having a girlfriend is... In this country, if you don't have money, Jackie, getting a girlfriend is a big problem, the way Daniel is saying. You must get finance. I hope DJ Chams will play There's No Romance Without Finance. The song, there is no romance without finance in this country.
Yes.
And then Jackie also saying 5 o'clock in the morning, where you gonna be? Ish, DJ Champs, that's a good start. Spice Drive was on fire. Truly, he's making Friday really feel like Friday is a bit, and it's a bit October 25 goodbye, turn into Nyeri County. So the guys are saying you're making their Friday feel like Friday. It's end month. It's a day, the last day of the month. So asanteni sana for listening to the show. Let me see what other people are saying. Jackie Asante, and those comments are very hilarious there. DJ, you make very funny comments here. People are saying Pilipili Hoho, asante sana. Eric Kenani Momanyi, fantastic. Asanteni sana. Ian David, Linus Kaikai, Victor Dawandawaga. Victor, we see you. Let me check the other guys here quickly. Beatrice Namale, you're saying pamoja, live from Saudi Arabia. Asante sana. I think Saudi Arabia is doing well. Then David Nyamwe Okengo, Eric Kenani, Hudson Zingombe, Kiba Gendi, Colton Otto, Kilemo Junior Bakayako, Joshua Wambua, Robert Niro, Beatrice Namale, and Jefferson UG, Sayud Maskud, Vini